Bitcoin is being now known as the store of value. So that's kind of like the corporate global use case of like the first thing, like people understanding it roughly for, value and price, which is a good start. I'm a believer that I think the thing that like a lot of my friends in the Bitcoin community get wrong is if you stop there, you probably miss both the technology innovation. Like this was one of the largest technological interventions, of our lifetime or of human history. And so I think like, it's got to move to the utility stage. And so, my view is stable coins and other kind of blockchain experiments help bootstrap those other use cases. Because what I'm seeing in the traditional world right now is people are understanding stable coins, which are generally, built on, other blockchains a little bit easier. And so the payment infrastructure, the settlements, these are all kind of getting played out there. So you have one that's store value that's getting played out. You have one that's payment infrastructure, settlement infrastructure, financial infrastructure that are generally being built on other blockchains than the Bitcoin blockchain, though I think that will change over time. Um, and then there's sort of the farthest use case, which is people building on it, building products and services. Um, and I think that's receiving a renaissance. When I started, there was a lot of really interesting Silicon Valley companies that were trying to build really interesting things on it. That kind of died. And then now you're seeing, I think the most interesting tech is really like layer two tech being built, on top of, the top chains, particularly Bitcoin and to some degree Ethereum. And those layer two companies are also extremely interesting and off the radar of most people right now, except for like the biggest nerds. But that's where I see the most interesting innovation. So, and there's lots of really interesting versions of applications or layer two tech there, whether it's, Nostr on the application side, or, things that are going on in Taproot. There's all kinds of really interesting things that are going on in layer two. But that's the farthest in the cycle. So my expectations is store value will continue to sort of eat the world of money. You will still start getting TradFi payment infrastructure being used, in the middle use case. And then these application use cases that I think are actually even beyond fintech. Lots of really interesting Web3 use cases there. And those are mostly on layer two things that I think are really interesting, but very early right now.